Here's the mindful man reading another episode entitled Hot Air Balloon. My head keeps moving. Oh my god. The next morning it was a crisp, frosty day, and the sky was as blue as the ocean. Mary was whistling as she put the kettle on, and she was glad to be rid of pesky Alf. He was nothing but trouble. She knew that it was a mistake to let him in. It was a mistake she would never make again. Good riddance to bad rubbish, she said, as she spread the thickest layer of jam onto a thick slice of toast. Apricot munched on his grass and celery, and he wondered what it'd be like to try something new for a change. The toast looked and smelled lovely, he thought as his mouth watered. Mary sat down with her tea and toast, and she read the local paper. There were lots of adverts for things to do: jumble sales, church fetes, dog walking. They all looked rather dull to Mary, until she saw one which caught her eye. Hot air balloon. Wow, she thought, I'd love to try that. How do you feel about being in a balloon, a hot one? She said to Apricot. Apricot wasn't too pleased. He didn't like heights. He much preferred to be on the ground. Apricot just squeaked, but it was taken as a yes, but unfortunately it was a no. That's settled then, said Mary, as she put up her winter coat, as the leaves were being blown from the trees. When they got to the park, hundreds of people were gathered round watching the flames filling up the balloon. It was moving on the ground as if it had a life of its own. It all looked a bit dangerous to Apricot, and he wasn't pleased at all. Even Mary looked worried when she saw the size of the basket. It was so tiny. I hope that's strong enough for my lovely figure, said Mary, as she flirted with the assistant. Don't worry, madam, it's strong enough to carry an elephant, the assistant said. Mary wasn't pleased to be compared with an elephant, but she decided not to say anything, as she was in his hands. Maybe he didn't mean it, she thought. The assistant picked up Apricot gently, and he placed him in the basket, where he sat on a soft pillow, thankfully. You can't climb out, asked Mary. Oh, don't worry, it's much too high, the man said, as Mary nervously stepped into the wobbly basket. Apricot was amused that he could hear and understand every word they were saying, but they had no idea. It gave him a sense of power. Mary sat down next to Apricot and she gave him a little stroke. Don't be afraid, Apricot, she said. Apricot was a little afraid, and Mary would soon be.